Sounds good.
All right, here we go. All right, welcome everybody. I'm Diana Lockett. This is our Realign to Thrive with Facebook Live interview with Matt Meiers. And Matt is a friend that I had an opportunity to meet through the Archangel Academy. He's a portrait artist based in Pittsburgh, and he believes that the art of creating amazing images starts with the experiences. Matt believes that each client is unique and they deserve to have a session tailored to make them feel special. The experience he creates has carried over into So Many Angels, which is a nonprofit that he funded in 2017, whose mission is to provide hope, inspiration, and encouragement to child warriors battling cancer so that they can become whatever and whoever they want to be when they grow up. Welcome so much. Thank you for being here, Matt.
Thank you for having me, Diana. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. I had an opportunity to do an interview, just a quick get to know you with Matt, and I'm speaking to everybody who's listening. And his work and his vision inspired me so much. I really wanted to bring him on here so that he could share with you the work that he's doing that really, truly touched my heart. And for anybody who's watching right now, if you want to just send an emoji or hello, just let me know that you're here. If you have any questions for Matt, I'll monitor those as well. Right now, what I see behind you, Matt, are some portraits that are not so much from the So Many Angels. This is your other personal work that you do. Can you speak to that? Because it's lovely, beautiful portraits.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. When I tell people what I do, I say that I'm a portrait artist because if I say I'm a photographer, then everybody you know is a photographer. And that's not a bad thing. But since the phone cameras are so great, everybody is an actual photographer. But if I share with you that I'm a portrait artist, then hopefully that spurs further conversations and I can tell you and show you what I do. And that's a little bit different than a lot of photography that you see. But then what we can do is I can kind of direct the conversation from the portrait artistry. What I want to do is show people in front of the camera the way everyone else sees them because we are sometimes our own worst critic. We're sometimes so hard on ourselves and everybody else sees the beauty that you sometimes never see. And I want to be able to show that beauty to you first on the back of the camera, then on the final product that we come up with. And we transform that over into the work we do with So Many Angels, which are now the kids, hopefully the kids behind me now. And what we do with So Many Angels is we give these kids a photo session and we photograph them against a green screen, so a plain backdrop. The parents and the kids don't really have a clue what we're going to provide at the end of the session. And we tell them in about 3 to 4 weeks, we hope it's sooner than that, and it usually is. In about 3 to 4 weeks, you will receive a canvas print in the mail. So when they open up this box, they don't know what's going to be on that canvas. So hopefully it's a lot of shock, a lot of awe, a lot of just amazing smiles and just disbelief sometimes because they don't remember being in that setting. If they were a superhero, they don't remember that setting. If they're a sports figure, they don't remember they were not standing in a stadium or on a field or anything like that. So we just try to blow them away with the movie poster quality prints that we provide for the families, and we do all this at no charge. And it's just, these kids inspire me so much with the way they carry themselves, and especially with what they're going through.
And what is the unique quality that all of these children share, Matt? What are they
They
going
are
through?
they're battling cancer, or they have had cancer and have now currently have no evidence of disease. Unfortunately, a lot of times when they get the all clear sign, they might get something else that comes back. They might get notice that it's back, and any phone call that comes in, there's always that thing in the back of the parent's mind that are they going to have to go through so much stuff again that nobody should have to go through, let alone kids going through something like that.
Yeah, beautiful. So these are all children that are either currently battling cancer or have battled cancer. Some of them are terminally dealing with cancer, and you give them an opportunity to dress up, to get a taste, to sample what it is that they would want to be when they grow up. What are some of the different costumes or dress ups that you've had a chance to experience?
Some of the ones behind me, we have Kyle, who's a Jedi, Luke, who's a St. Louis Cardinals baseball player, uh, a couple other kids baseball players. Logan's a superhero. Buzz Lightyear. A couple of the more interesting ones are Zoe, who wanted to be Wednesday Adams, and she has this beautiful bald head that you see in the picture next to me, and she had this wig, and she had a little black cat, and she was the perfect Wednesday Adams. And some of the editors, were kind of arguing about who was going to get to edit Zoe's picture, because they love doing the superheroes and the princesses and everything else, but we do not get a lot of Wednesday Adams that come through. So they kind of wanted to show off for Wednesday Adams. Um, Another one is off my other shoulder. That is Charlie. And when we asked Charlie's mom, we said, "What's three things that Charlie really likes?" And she said, "Funky, colors, and galaxy." Charlie happens to be blind, but funky colors and galaxy. So we came up with Josh Hanna, who's our lead editor. He came up with something, and it just, since Charlie is blind, we wanted to make it a little more special for her, because if we just give her a canvas print, it's just going to feel like a flat wall. There's nothing there. So we had somebody paint on the texture. And Charlie's mom shared a video with me where she's describing to Charlie each thing that's on there that's raised. And Charlie, you can see her hands going across the painting, where mom is saying, "Those are Charlie's glasses. That's Charlie's t-shirts. That's the T-Rex on the t-shirt." And Charlie is just going, "Ooh, ooh." So we kind of help Charlie see that picture,
Mm,
even though she can't see.
I have goosebumps. I love that. So Charlie's the little girl that's lying in bed with a pinkish red t-shirt, right?
Yes, that is her.
Beautiful. Love it. And what's the most common request that you have?
Um, I don't know if it's I don't know if we have one specific comment. A lot of superheroes, because the superhero is kind of, they get to be in their alter ego, and it just kind of, it allows them to jump into somebody else. They can be Superman, they can fight evil, they can be Batman, they can be uh, like Kyle's Star Wars Jedi. They can fight the evil, and the evil might not be the bad guy. The evil in their cases might be the cancer that they're battling. And what we want these kids to do is, part of the reason we print out these canvas prints is we want them on their wall in the bedroom. And when Kyle goes to bed, I want that to be the last thing he sees before he goes to sleep, and the first thing he sees when he wakes up. I want it to inspire him to fight that day. If he's going through a tough surgery or a medical procedure, I want him to be able to, in his mind, maybe jump into that Star Wars character. They jump into the Superman character, or Batwoman, or Supergirl, or Superwoman. I just want them to, we kind of do the photo sessions, and sometimes the parents have told me that it distracts the kids, it distracts the families for 10 or 15 minutes. It doesn't completely make them forget that they are sick and battling cancer, but it kind of gives them a good distraction where they get to be a kid again. And that's
Yeah.
super
A
important
respite, right?
because yeah, the parents don't get to see that all the time. So when they're
Yeah.
up in front of the camera, some of them get they ham it up pretty well. And what they do is, they become that character. They become that princess and they'll twirl around or they'll dance or it's just amazing. Lily, who is there with her, she's got a little unicorn dress on there. She would wear a different dress to every one of her chemo treatments. So the doctors and the nurses and the child life people, they would all just brighten up because they don't have an easy job either, working with kids battling cancer every day. So she would bring a little sunshine to everybody, including herself. They'd see her and they would all wonder, which dress is she wearing today? And it's just to hear each of the stories from these families and from these kids, it's just amazing how much they inspire me.
I just need to take a moment to pause and tell you how much I feel so inspired by what you're doing. How many children have you photographed to date?
Uh, 103 so far, and that's not counting any in the last year because of the COVID situation. We hope to be back up at it soon, as soon as we are able to, and as soon as the families are ready to go.
Yeah. And so what's your hope with this organization, So Many Angels? What would you like?
Well,
What are you hoping to, how are you hoping to grow? What are you hoping to be able to offer?
what we're going to do in the next few months is we're setting up a couple of cities not too far from Pittsburgh, trying to work with other nonprofits in a couple other cities where we can go there and do events with children that are in their system, these other nonprofits that are already serving these families. And we'll be able to set up an event with them. We will come into town and maybe we do an event there every 3 or 4 months to keep serving the families of the kids who are battling cancer. Because if we go there one time, we're going to miss some kids. And unfortunately, there's new kids diagnosed every day. Uh, there's some kids that would not be able to come to, if we just had that one event, they wouldn't be able to come because of medical procedures or previous tests scheduled or something like that. So we don't want to leave these kids and leave these families underserved or not served at all. So we want to keep coming back until we're kind of a presence in that pediatric cancer community where they start telling people about us and we just keep growing. Word of mouth is fine. We're going to be promoting the heck out of everything we do because each person, there might be one person in a couple different cities that is watching this right now on Facebook. And they
Mhm.
might say, well, I know this organization in this city. And although we may not be able to get to that city tomorrow, we will try to work towards getting to that city because, again, we want to serve as many families as we can, but we need to serve them the right way, the proper way, the way that we have served the families in the past.
Yeah. I love this. I love everything about this. I love how it's very family service focused. And what a beautiful opportunity for children to really have a respite from their illness, even if it's for 10 or 15 minutes. But it really isn't just for 10 or 15 minutes because when you create that beautiful portrait and they get it, they get to remember, they get to relive that experience every moment. And I know that there's going to be situations where the children will be passing on and the parents will have that as a keepsake. And what a beautiful reminder of the time that they were able to see their child being fully present in a joy-filled and grace-filled fun moment. So what a beautiful service you're doing. What is the next steps for you? Do you have an ask or anything that we can do at this point? How can people reach you? What are you able to serve? How are you able to serve, or how are you able to um, what can you offer now, given that it's COVID time? I imagine you're not photographing at this moment, correct?
Right this second, we are not, but as soon
Right.
as the families give us the okay, we can photograph from a distance. I think it's a safe distance, but it's just a matter of letting the families know that we're ready
Yeah.
to go again. And when they start saying we're ready, we will definitely be ready. I'm ready now, but it's kind of up to the families in that situation.
And families are bringing the children to your studio at this point or to your
Uh,
location at this point, or do you travel to the families?
We will most likely set up an event and try to schedule multiple children throughout the day, like every 30 minutes or something like that, where we're not having them crisscross schedule wise. There's enough time in between, so there's less contact that way. But we'll secure a location where we can set up the photo equipment and just have the families come. The kids show up in costume or put their costumes on there, and we just go, and that's it. We will send them the goodies in 2 to 3 weeks, and that's pretty much it. We again, we do not charge these families for anything. Uh, how you can help is if you are on Facebook, birthday fundraisers. I know you see them from your friends. I know you cringe at sometimes, but what they do is Facebook does not charge any service fees. So if you donate $25 to a Facebook fundraiser for a valid 501c3 in the US, 501c3 charity that's registered with the IRS, we get every penny of that $25 that you donate. So those are really appreciated. Facebook does not always notify me or notify us when somebody starts a fundraiser or has one going on. So sometimes I miss some, and I do apologize for that. But you can click on the So Many Angels. I believe it says start a fundraiser or do a birthday fundraiser. You can search for So Many Angels. That is also our website, so manyangels.org. You can donate through there. You can just spread the word, spread this video about what we do, share it with your friends. Just go to the website, watch the video of what we do. It's 2 minutes and 56 seconds, and it will show you exactly what we do. If you have questions after that, please message me on Facebook, email me through the website. Anyway, we're all over social media, so it should be pretty easy to get a hold of me. I hope to respond quickly. Sometimes I'm not able to, but I do try to keep on top of everything.
Amazing. So I did go to the website and I saw the video and it's very heartwarming. And so what we'll do is we'll make sure to put into the comment section of this live, we'll put in your website, we'll put in your the number, the registration number. And currently the work is exclusively in the US. Do you eventually hope to come into Canada? Is that part of your
I
plan?
would eventually hope to go all over the world, but
Okay.
right now we are in the US. Uh, we are, we're trying to figure out everything we need to do in the US before we make the jump to Canada, because I know the nonprofit situation is a little bit different up there. It might be very different. It might not be much different at all, but we need to figure everything out here and get things rolling in different cities here before we can jump across the border, even though that there's a need everywhere in the world for it. We just hope, if somebody sees what we're doing and likes it, then they can try it wherever they are. It doesn't need to be an ongoing thing. If you just want to reach out to one family, if you see a news story on a child that's battling cancer or anything, any kind of medical situation, reach out to them and offer them, if you're a photographer, offer them a photo shoot. Uh, see how you can help. Look into the family a little bit and see if they have a GoFundMe page or crowdsourcing, a crowdfunding website. Just anything that can help them, because every bit helps. Don't ever think that $1 or $5 or $10 does not matter, because it absolutely does.
I hope that you all caught this when Matt said very humbly that he does not charge for this. So any part that we can contribute, that we can support, is so critical to be able to continue this work. Matt, I just want to ask you really quickly, how did you get into this? How did you start doing this? Because there's quite a difference. Can you go back to your previous screen with your beautiful
Yes.
portraits? Like when I
Yes.
saw those portraits, I saw so much beauty, and there's darkness and there's shadows. And those of you who know me, I do a lot of shadow work and in personal development and in spiritual work. And I love the shadows in here. And then taking that to the children now, and there's this shadow of this concept of children and cancer, something we don't really want to talk about. And what Matt is doing is giving it a spotlight, because we need to talk about it and we need to support these families and kids. How did you get into that from this beautiful photography work that I know you still continue, but then you've got this nonprofit piece? How did that start?
So a few years ago, when I lived in Delaware, I was volunteering at a Make-A-Wish event. I was just taking photos for the vineyard and for Make-A-Wish Delaware. And the woman who spoke, she was in her 30s, and she said that she had her wish granted when she was 13 or 14. And
Mm,
she was a Miami, Florida, Miami beach girl. And she had no knowledge of snow, never been in snow, and never seen it in person, but she wanted to go snow skiing for her wish. And the Make-A-Wish people got the family a cabin halfway down the mountain. They skied out in the morning, skied in at night. But what stuck with me is she said that for that week, I was not sick.
mm,
And that just hit me that she was basically distracted by living a quote unquote normal life, and she wasn't sick that week, and how powerful that was. And what I thought about is how can I try to do something with photography that can distract kids. And I think around that same time, as a friend of mine had posted a picture of his son as Batman or Superman. He's not sick, but he posted this really spectacular image of his son, with the city in the backdrop and just the bat signal going out. And so those two things popped into my head. It's like, what if we could do this for kids battling cancer or kids battling an illness that can use a little bit of normal, but could use some special treatment, during this photo session. That's a big part of what we do as the photo session. We want it to be a super big event that they will remember forever, that maybe they will even forget that they're going to get a canvas print in 2 to 3 weeks. Maybe they have such a great time that it blows them away, the experience and how much fun that was. And then 2 weeks later, they get this print in the mail. It's like, oh yeah, that's why we were really there. And then, like you said, if the kids take this home, then that lasts forever for the child. And childhood cancer, like you were just talking about, childhood cancer is something that a lot of people do not want to talk about. And I absolutely understand that. And that's where I have to tiptoe and walk that tightrope of, I want you to know it's out there. I want you to know what we're doing, but I do not want you to tune out. I
mm,
don't want you
mm.
to be so horrified about what we're talking about that you just tune out and change the channel, because this is something that these kids and these families need.
Yeah, it's very real for them. And I think that anytime we can become sensitive to the reality that it's happening, we start to open up our hearts a little bit more. And so I love what you're doing. I love the intention behind it. I love, oh, you've changed the backdrop there.
There's
Beautiful.
a couple new ones in there too. I'm gonna
Yeah,
So
love
there's
it.
actually Maverick, the little pilot. He was, I think, just less than 1 years old when we photographed him.
Mm.
You can't see it on there, but I believe he's on the website. He's got little bubbles coming out of his lips. And his mom actually had to hold him because he couldn't sit up straight. So we wrapped his mom in green screen fabric and then edited out that green screen fabric afterwards.
And what a cherished memory for parents if they do end up losing their children. What a cherished memory for them that you've given them this gift. It's unbelievable. I love it. I love everything that you're doing. I've told you before, I want to support you any way I can. This was one of the ways that I could offer to support. And I'm going to encourage everyone to go on the website, somanyangels.org. And if you're able to do a donation, if you're able to support Matt's mission and purpose, and look at these kids as, what can we give them that's going to help to make their life feel a little bit more typical, a little bit more normal, have a little bit more joy, and then have this cherished memory to take with them afterwards as well. It's such a beautiful offering. So thank you so much. Any last words, Matt, that you'd like to share?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything, Diana. I
Okay.
appreciate your time and allowing me to share with your community. It's much appreciated.
Thank you. So I'll put all of Matt's contact information in the comments. If you want to contact directly
Thank you.
with Matt, please reach out to him directly. And thank you so much, Matt. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you again. You too.